Hey guys, Dirt Diver 222 coming back at you with a little tip, trick, mod thing. I know I haven't made videos in a long time. I apologize for that. Life has gotten really crazy. Had some amazing things happen at work with my job. For those of you who don't know, I am a youth pastor, and there's a lot of things going on there, which is really cool. Got some new gear. We have two boys now. Those of you who've seen past videos know that I have a little boy named Trey. We had our second son. He is about 4.5 months now, and life's crazy, but it's cool. Got some new gear here. I got the More Companion Heavy Duty. Let me tell you something, guys. I love this knife. I've been really wanting a beefier, more version to my 511. The sheath is actually, I like the sheath. I know you guys saw my leather sheath, and I might make one for this. The only real big mod that I want to do, I put some Ranger bands on here because I'm going to shove a ferro rod in there. I want to drill a hole in the handle so that I can put a lanyard if I need to, just for security. Maybe throw some extra cordage on there. If I'm running low, maybe I can do a little bit of a chop. These are not designed for chopping, guys. To be honest with you, you don't even really need a lanyard. The only reason I like lanyards is maybe a little something to kind of give just a little more security in the hand. That's it, really. Much thicker than your 511 that I have. Handle took a little bit of getting used to. Got the military green, so it's a little more bushcrafty. But I'll be honest, I'm so impressed. I want to get the orange one to use for hunting. Really, really like that. But that's not what it's about. Today, I've got a really cool thing that I've been working on. Had some ideas. Came up with it yesterday. Wanted to share it with you guys. I'm a big fan of seeing the Ranger beads and really getting to know how to use them. The only issue that I really had was I can't see buying a big bag of beads for just 13. Also, I was like, there's got to be a better way to keep track of them. Maybe a way to kind of use them. I found how to make them with tying them with hollowed out 550 cord for beads, and I didn't even touch it because working on knots has been one of the things that I've really had to kind of struggle with or work on. The cool thing though is I thought I'd give it a shot, just practice. I had a couple of days to myself here at the house. Unfortunately, due to having some cancellations of some stuff, what was going to be going out turned into staying in. Well, staying in turned into some projects, and basically, let me just show you kind of a finished product of what we're looking at here. They're basically Ranger beads that are on, they're just the knotted, 9 on one, 4 on the other, and that's for paste beads. For those of you who don't know what paste beads are, or Ranger beads, or counting beads, mat beads, whatever you want to call them, basically you, as an individual, everybody's stride is different. You measure out your stride to find out how long it takes you to go 100 meters. You can do it in feet and yards and miles. I love what Dave Canterbury said for pacing beads. Does kilometers because it's simple. It's in tens, and I'm stupid, so I get it. No, I don't call myself stupid. I just say, this is a easy way to do it. 9 on this side. Basically, what happens is every time you measure out how long it takes you to, how many steps it takes you to go 100 meters. Once you go 100 meters on this longer strand, you slide it down, and you continue to do this. And when you reach number 9, I know what you're thinking, but what do you do? Because there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. That means 1,000 meters. Yes. Then you slide one of these down, slide all these back up, and you start over. And then when you get down past all 4, you've gone 5 kilometers. Some military guys will tell you 5 clicks. Some of you might be saying, well, that's no different. It's just a fisherman's lanyard knot with some other fisherman lanyards knots, and that's it. Well, those of you who've tried to tie these little knots know that They're very cool looking, but they take some practice. If you don't practice them, you forget how to do them. I'm a perfect example of that. I love putting these knots on like all my lanyards. I got I have a nice, really cool wooden whistle that I tied the leather thong that was on there. I untied it and retied it this way, and I just like the look of them. I feel like that little bit of extra decoration. Plus, these knots do not come undone at all. I mean, they're tight, they last, they work. Now, one of the things that I thought was kind of hard was paste beads. I always see people saying, oh, you just clip them to your pack or you clip them to your compass. And that's all fine and dandy, but if you're walking, sometimes you don't think to, what if you've lost your pack? What if you don't have those things? I always try to keep my compass on my person for the simple fact of if I'm out walking around and I don't have my compass or I don't have my bag for whatever reason, that makes no sense. I don't have the things that I need, like a cutting tool, water pot or water container. I usually try to keep a canteen on me or a Guyot bottle on me, a fire source. Believe it or not, guys, I do keep a ferro rod on me. This is my emergency backup fire starter. It's just a simple Zippo with a Ranger band on it. And the Ranger band stops a lot of the fluid from evaporating. And yeah, I throw the bottle of fluid, I fill it up before I go out to make sure it's full, and I put the bottle of fluid in my pack because if I really need a lighter, this is where I'm at. I can burn the Ranger band things, plus it stops the fluid from evaporating. And no, that's not Zippo fluid, that's why it goes poof. But, it's cheap and I can't find Zippo fluid, so... but this was rolled down because you do need this in making these because you burn the ends. So Zippo lighter. You also need a pair of needle nose pliers. My brother-in-law is my new favorite friend because I just got a Leatherman Blast. I absolutely love it. One of the things I love is that Leatherman went back to the old style cases. It's not the same quality as the originals, but these cases... they're leather, positive snap, they ride well on your belt, wide belt loop. It's like that tiny little thing that just disappears. Some of the Super Tool 300s have them as well. He gave me this for as a gift, and I love it, the Blast. And let me tell you what, I mean, the file, the scissors, the saw on this is amazing. 420 high carbon. This blade is sharp. But reason we're using this today is you need needle nose pliers and you also need scissors. Now, do you need a Leatherman tool with scissors and needle nose pliers? No, but I'll be honest with you, it sure helps. So anyway, we're going to take a break and then I'll show you how to make these. I've got one that I've almost finished with some black paracord. I've got the last one to do. Basically, you measure out your wrist and do this. What I did was I tied my lanyard knot here. Then I measured for how big I need it for the other lanyard knot. And so what I did was I found another piece of cord, tied the knot, and just made sure that it was big enough, but not too big that I can't get it through. And then once I did that, I measured my wrist, tied the other lanyard knot, cut it, trimmed it, because I don't like a bunch of tag ends sticking out on everything. Oh! The whole purpose of this video of showing why it's something different, I apologize, guys. This is a design where you can clip it to your keys, clip it to your belt, whatever. Here's why I like this. I can't believe I got so sidetracked. I apologize, guys. But this is why I like this, because it is actually... oh, get it here. Hard to do this on camera to make sure you guys can see. This is a bracelet. Ranger bead bracelet. So now, while you're walking... sorry, I got caught up in that whole why carry what. I know we all get ranting sometimes. But as I'm walking, if I'm lost, or even if I'm navigating, if I'm just out for a hike, I can keep this on my wrist. It's hands-free. I don't have to worry about anything dangling. One of the reasons I like the cloth ones also is because they don't make any noise. And to be honest with you, I think they look kind of cool. And literally, as you're walking, you just grab the bead, depending on which hand you want to put it on, and you slide it down. And slide it down. Right here, my pasty white skin. But as you can see, this Ranger bead bracelet Yet another survival bracelet to hit the market. Sorry, I'm sure somebody may have thought of this. If they did, I apologize. I'm not trying to infringe on anything. I haven't seen this anywhere, and I think it's a pretty cool idea. We wear compasses around our neck sometimes. Some guys I've seen have the wrist compasses where they're able to kind of check things out, you know, and do things. Excuse me, I'm going to sip of my coffee here. Made some coffee on my hobo stove out there earlier outside while I'm at home. You know, got to practice when you can, especially with 2 kids. Life gets crazy, especially with a baby. But enough said. I've talked a whole lot. Let's show how to do these beads, because this is the important part, because you can look up to find anywhere how to do these knots. And to be honest with you, if you look hard enough, you can figure out how to do these paste beads. Fairly simple. But this is just a new thing that I did. I did the blue originally because I wanted something vibrant, and then I was like, you know what would look really cool and could wear every day is black and green. You know, a lot of people get those cobra beads like that. So just wanted to share this little idea with you guys. You tell me what you think. I love my viewers. I love my subscribers. I apologize again for not having videos out in a while, but here we go. Take your, I use hollowed out 550. The reason hollowed 550 is it just makes a nice small bead, and the flat lines, I'll be honest, really just look cool. If I really thought about it, I'd had this hollowed as well, but the rounder kind of gives a little more stretchy and all that stuff. So what you do is you lay the paracord over your line, or what you're doing, give yourself a little bit of a tag, and then you wrap it around and over. So it's around your rope and across that tag end. And then you literally wrap that around it again. And here's where your knots start coming in place. You take this working end and you feed it right through this loop that was made by your standing tag end. If I can do this on camera without actually pliers, they can kind of show you what I'm doing here. Pull that down, okay? Pull that up. And here's where things get a little bit tricky, okay? So it almost looks like basically a, clove hitch. So you rotate it over, the knot completely over, so that you can see these 2 loops, okay? Then you take your needle nose pliers, this is where they start to come in, you reach underneath and grab this loop. Pull this tight through, almost until it's its own loop, almost like it's fed through. Okay, so got this here, and then open. Your jaws, pinch. I like to grab a little bit lower to pinch because that extra slack just gives ease pull through. Okay, give that a little bit of a snug fit, and this is where life gets real simple. If you look down at these, and this is where I got a little confused online because I saw it folded over and then tucked under, but it's not. Your tag end that you've got here now, you literally take your pliers, you see this crisscross hatch right here, almost like this individual X. Okay? You take this and you feed your jaws through, spread them open. This is where sometimes it's easier because if you've got it really tight, regular pliers will force further than Leatherman because they'll bend out. And you literally pull that tag end all the way through. Now if you didn't get that, that's the great part about YouTube. You can always rewind and watch it again. So, okay, we've got this here. Now we've got our knot. Our knot is done. Now the problem that I have is it's a little loose, it's a little spongy. I don't like that. I want my knots nice and tight. Now I've learned this from doing the first one. Do not grab here. This will pull this tag end back out. Grab on this side. If you'll follow it up to here, this is tightening the knot basically. So you grab this and you pull it as tight as you can. And it might pull this a little bit. Just watch for that tag end. Just enough to kind of get it down. If you see it starting to pull the tag end, you know you've got it tight. Then you grab this little, And this, you can do this with your fingers, but I'll be honest with you, your fingers start to hurt after a while of doing this. Okay, fold that over. Make sure you keep your stuff down. That's important because sometimes you miss. And I'm just going to do this with my fingers real quick just to kind of grab it and then kind of crank down with my cord. And it's twisted a little bit, but the cool thing is it's a hollow tube of cord. You know, you can twist it back, you can pull it back, you can pinch it and then re-straighten it, and you just keep working all the way around. Okay? Keep going all the way around. Now, I used about 6 feet of a hollowed out 550 cord to make this, and that's what I've got left. So I think that's about good to make all 13 beads. If you want to use different beads or more beads, you may need to adjust as needed. And then last pull, and you'll see it feed right to there, and pull tight. And then you kind of test your tension. That's good. It's not too tight, it's not too loose. And then the scissors. Now, I agree with everybody else, you want to cut as low as possible. I try to take my finger and feather them out a little bit so that these melt really well. And then, then we just kind of melt, let them shrink in. Now the cool thing is because of the way I dyed that, it actually pulled the tag end in. Does it work that way all the time? Heck no, it does not. Check the slide. Slide that up. This also stops the evaporation of the fuel. So on the Zippo, a little mod, you throw a Ranger band on it, it gives you a little more grip, gives you tinder, gives you helps preserve the lighter. And there you have it. It's all finished. It's now ready to wear around your wrist. It's just like the paracord ones, paracord bracelets where you got your knot. And you throw that in there. And if you don't want to do lanyards, you can always do fisherman knots, figure eights, whatever you want to do, whatever crazy knot. There's double diamond wild knots that I can never seem to get, and this is all that I got left over for scrap, and can figure out something to do with that later. Alright guys, this is Dirt Diver 222 signing off. Again, thanks for everybody staying faithful, appreciate it. Baby's healthy for all those who care. Those who don't, too bad. He's my kid and I love him. Trey's doing a great job as well. Mrs. Dirt Diver is busy as well as myself, so if you don't see anything from me in a while, I apologize. But this is just a quick update, a quick little craft, something to make, a little skill that I thought of, and I think the Ranger bead bracelet is a really cool idea. If you don't like it, well, you know, that's up to you. Alright guys, catch you on the trails.